Leisoni Ra, or Sun Ra, as he was known, formerly Herman Poole Blount, was a pianist, composer, bandleader, cosmic philosopher, poet, and an entertainer of incredible and unique creativity. He was born on the 22nd of May in Birmingham, Alabama, and learned piano as a child. He was a very skilled pianist even as a child, and was able to sight read and compose at only age 11. He studied music at a segregated high school under John Fess Watley, and then later went to college very briefly, just for 1 year, where he majored in music education and studied composition, orchestration, and music theory. He left college because of a visionary experience that led him to do so, where he believes his formless consciousness was teleported to Saturn, where aliens spoke to him and told him that there were great troubles ahead if he stayed at college and he must leave to speak to the world through music. So he went to go do that. He played with he played with Ethel Harper, his high school biology teacher, and they had a band for a short while before she left for another gig, and he actually took lead of that. He also played with Winoni Harris, who was a Chicago blues singer, the Lil Green Band, another group in Chicago. They played at various strip clubs and performed bump and grind tunes in the 40s. And he also played with the Fletcher Henderson Orchestra, who he looked up to for a long time, and it was like obviously a popular thing around for a while. This was after the height of the career, though, height of Fletcher Henderson's orchestral career, where where it wasn't nearly to the extent of popularity, but certainly a very significant experience. He also played with Coleman Hawkins and Stuff Smith in an unfortunately unrecorded trio group in the late 40s as well. And this was just for a brief period of time before he left for another trio group, which he led with Tommy Bugs Hunter and Pat Patrick. After Pat Patrick left, John Gilmore and Marshall Allen joined the trio, known as the Space Trio beforehand. And they joined on to the group and became two of the most devoted members of the Sun Ra Orchestra, which was his main group for his career. And John Gilmore actually led the group after Sun Ra's death in 1993. And then after Gilmore's death, Marshall Allen began to lead the group, and he still leads it to this day. And they still are active and perform. And also during this time, Julian Prester and Von Freeman joined it as well, but were not as notable as Gilmore and Allen to the group. The Sun Ra Orchestra was his main gig, which filtered through dozens of lesser known artists, like a shockingly large amount of artists that filtered in and out of the group over the years from 1961 to the present day, where they're still performing. He also played with Salah Regab on his tour in Egypt later on in the early 70s. Sun Ra's contribution to jazz. Sun Ra's contribution to jazz was an early strong influence on the avant-garde movement in Chicago. He was one of the pioneering users of electronic instrumentation, and that include the electric piano, the claviolin, the celeste, and synthesizers. And this was in the 50s, where that was just completely unheard of almost, and like really not widely used. So he really pioneered that, which has become pretty obviously like one of the like primary instruments in modern music and also jazz. specifically. And so he also contributed with his unique, innovative, and boundaryless approach to the art form of jazz. And he thought about it really as an art form more than just a genre of music. And he recorded over 100 albums and over 1,000 songs during his career, which is a pretty impressive portfolio. Um, he also helped pioneer the Afrofuturism movement and that advocated for political independence of African Americans and resisted the dominating white narrative of the United States. He was a band leader in the Sonny Blount Orchestra, which was the group after Ethel Harper's group after she left for another gig. He led that. It wasn't really financially successful, but probably pretty good experience. That was while he was in high school still. The Space Trio with Bugs and Pat Patrick, as well as the Sun Ra Orchestra, of course, which still plays today. And that was his main part of the career. He played in Birmingham, Alabama, Chicago, Illinois during the Chicago Jazz Movement, New York City, Philadelphia. He toured the United States West Coast, as well as European countries, including France, Germany, and the United Kingdom. He also played quite a bit in California, specifically Berkeley, and he was a little bit associated with Berkeley University for a period, I believe. His style composed for a wide range of instrumentation, ranging from just like a piano solo for one person to a big band piece for over 30 members. And he also composed for a wide range of styles that included songs, electronic breaks, chanting, percussion, percussive pieces, and anthems. His performances were truly multimedia, very artistic approaches to jazz as an art platform. They included singing, dancing, martial art performances, colorful, elaborate costume wearing, fire eating, lighting effects, and they went on for hours. And that was just a really, really strange way to do it for sure. And has definitely echoed through to the modern musical performances. His style was unique, strange, elaborate, experimental, and certainly memorable. Thank you.